Alexa, stop. Hello, and welcome to Reviews for Use, the DVD entertainment subsection of the Debatainment streams. I'm Rob. I am today. We're going to be a bit more lowbrow. We're going to talk about 1987 classic. Shout out to Stuart, who watched this film with me in 1987 in Chestnut Grove, because this film is, for those of you who don't know, the schoolyard classic. I can't even bother. The schoolyard classic that is Munchies. Munchies was created as part of Roger Corman Studios, released in 1987. Not every video rental shop, aka Mum says I can watch it, had Munchies. Only some video shops did. The main thing was Kevin's video shop had Munchies. Back then, I'm going to sort of skip around. This was the sort of the video cover for the UK release. Woman in Red. So Munchie, right. Everything that's hinted at in this happens even less in the film, which to a 13-year-old boy in 1987 was very frustrating. That tended to be, for those of you who can't read we'll talk about the language there. Sex Monster aus dem All se bissen wieder. Okay, which means it's, I think I stopped at Sex Monster really. So yeah, so this was going around, being talked about as been hilarious. Key point Ian felt was important for us to know was there's a scene in a golf course where a girl is playing golf in a short skirt, and the munchie keeps telling her to play golf again. Do it again. Right, so of course, being the 13-year-old boys who didn't have any of the internet that you have today, a la this, or indeed you can follow me on OnlyFans. Don't follow me on OnlyFans. Really wondered about how to see this film. My video club found it a couple of weeks later, suddenly had it in. It was, I believe, a 12. I think, no, probably a 15, and I just went, Mum said I can watch it, and the guy behind the counter was like, this seems really popular for some reason. He's a grown man. He's actually, looking back, he was busy renting to my brother, who's like 19 at the time, pirate copies of Predator and Beverly Hills Cop 2. Predator I didn't bother with because it just looked like jungles and naff. That shows you how a 12-year-old responds when you don't show him the spaceship at the beginning of the film. So Munchies, I managed to rent Munchies, got it for the weekend, went round to Stu's and watched it with his folks, which looking back, because we knew it was a parody, I could just remember sitting there going, it's a parody, it's not just like Gremlins, it's a parody Gremlins. I don't think we know. I didn't know how to pronounce. I thought it was pronounced gonorrhea. I didn't know it was a genre of film. We rented this and watched it with Sonic, which, given the fact that the main reason we were probably watching this film was that Ian and Kevin told us there were definitely pants in it. It's probably quite awkward, more for Stu than for me. I just laid on the floor very intently. So this is the both the theatrical and the uncut edition, which I've got to admit is what intrigued me to become. Now, incidentally, this is the German mediabook limited edition of 300, as opposed to limited edition 300 of the other cover I showed you and the other covers I'm about to show you. That made me wonder, like, what? There's the bit in my brain just went, what what possible extra deleted scene I've got to. I've only just bought a DVD, Blu-ray player. Oh, DVD player. Oh, I've had those for like 5 years. Blu-ray player, and I just part of me just went, what could possibly make this bizarre classic that sticks in my mind so much bigger? And what is a media book exactly? Well, let me tell you. A media book starts with the opening pages. You've got that's the DVD there, okay, and we've got the Blu-ray here. Both of them, after translation, contain exactly the same features. So you get the theatrical and the uncut edition in both, and the deleted scene that I'll get to when we review the film. First, let's talk about the media book, as you can see, because this is apparently a thing. You open the book, and there's pages in it, many pages. Here we are. I think, given the talk about it, I don't know. I think some of these must have been commissioned for this, and others just showing off the old promotional work. I don't know how, given the fact that, even in 1987, this falls into a factor of, that can't be the selling point. Roger Corman could just do nudie flicks. Indeed, he had. Russ Meyer was a thing. So you have this image, the ensemble of Munchies. They all call themselves bizarre names and suddenly speak English, even though they've been in Mayan world. You have one Munchie here where my finger was sort of covering. And, of course, a woman playing golf, so you can see her pants. Now, that as a scene, of the scenes, shotgun ice creams, Robert Picardo, dwarves in restaurants, that is the scene you feel you need to paint. Given it's called Sex Monster, and that's probably the most salacious scene. Arguably, there's a Jaws-like scene where munchies attack them in the bikini. That's the scene. That's the sell point. So you have various stills from the film, and I must say that the book itself is very comprehensive. It talks about filming in Afghanistan. It talks about various aspects of Roger Corman's production house, Tina Burch's work. Tina Burch is the director of this classic. You have the limited press promo that was mainly used in Japan. That's not even. I don't know where the record player is coming from. Klein German and Absolute Bluestong. You've got stuff about critters, ghoulies, the whole genre of what they refer to as Klein monsters, or rather just the little critter flickers. Little critter flicks. Not so much as you would find in a typical website bit from Paul Ashford in Ghoulies Unflushed, but you do get quite a bit. You have references to Simpsons, South Park, even the comedy of used cars. I really don't see how. I mean, it would help if I understood more of the references towards Barbarian Queen. They do point out Robert Picardo does go on to become the Doctor in Voyager. Star Wars Holiday Special, I hadn't seen. The designs that went on from here to Beetlejuice. Now, there's about 20 pages of this. Oh, look. There you go. There's the swimming and there's the psychotic cop that we'll get to later. And you have much more about even Wrath of Khan. This guy, right, has gone through, and it's quite a massive flick through this. I've shown you the other ones, and the final picture is, of course, the one that I showed you on the cover. Alright, this book is comprehensive in every way. I mean, I knew, I don't think Siegfried Krakauer could have put this level of analysis and the scatological references that are put into this 20 pages that Christoph N. Kalabach has put into this. I have no doubt that is one of the most comprehensive and analytical forms of Munchie's dissection. that anyone have. And not because I think it's the only dissection of the Munchies films it has, but also because I can't read German. So I'm looking at 20 pages of a highly analytical cinema Kehir level niveau of this film, and I can't read it. I mean that really shouldn't have been a surprise to me in any way. But there you go. Now onto the film itself.